Hi, guys, and welcome. I'm Anita. I'm your host, and today we're gonna talk about what a puppy or an adult dog feels when he's brought home for the first time. If you have a newly adopted dog, maybe from a shelter or even from a breeder, your dog has made some experiences in his former, let's say his former life. And when you bring him home, most people have a lot of expectations. Like, I want to go running with my dog, I want to go hiking, and I want my dog to accompany me everywhere. And at home, we'll just be together and lie on the sofa cuddling. And so we have all these expectations, but for me, it's also important to think about what are the dog's expectations and what's the dog feeling about all this. So you're bringing your dog home. Maybe he's already met you. That would be best case. If you just have visited him before a couple of times, even gone on walks if it's an adult dog and you visited him at the shelter, or you've been at the breeders and have just already built up a little bit of a relationship. This is kind of important for the dog because he will be taken home, but he doesn't know that it's gonna be a home. So it depends on if the dog's of a fearful type or more of a courageous type. So if you have picked out a very bold dog, so someone who is not easily startled and just likes to explore stuff and isn't afraid of anything new, and just in your first time visit, he just came up to you and greeted you and was just open and friendly, then you'll not have huge trouble with him getting used to your home as his new environment. But often we adopt dogs who already are a little bit scared or anxious and are not so sure about new stuff. So you can see when you bring your dog home, the first thing will be the car ride. So you put your dog in the car. He's not yet very accustomed to you, except if you have visited him for a year or something like that, and gone on walks with him regularly at the shelters. That would be great. So then you have a little bit more of a relationship, and maybe he already knows your car, and he knows, okay, if I get into this car with this person, it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna explore things, and nice things will happen. But if you don't have that kind of a relationship already, the first thing is your dog sees you as a new person, or kind of new person. So this new guy takes me somewhere. I don't really know him. I'm not really sure about that. What's gonna happen? How is he gonna treat me? He will be a little bit cautious, maybe reserved, and don't take this personally. Your dog is just experiencing something that's totally new to him with a person he doesn't really know yet. So if you take him from the shelter and maybe drive him home, then your dog will be a little bit anxious, and it's gonna be new to him. Everything's new to him, and maybe he gets a little car sick. Maybe he's nervous and gets car sick because of that. And it's very important that he experiences you as a source of good things, and someone who reassures him, and someone who is nice to him. And then your dog, from the first day on, learns that you, in his presence, stand for good stuff. And even if things are new, you help him get through this. So if your dog just pukes in your car or pees in your car or something like that, don't get upset. I know it's kind of difficult at the beginning because maybe you ask yourself what you did wrong, or maybe you doubt the choice in the dark. I get it, but maybe your dog's really fearful. And if your dog's really scared and or he really gets car sick, then this experience is really hard for him. And if you get upset because he puked in your car, and I don't know, you don't even have to yell at him or be grumpy at him. He will get that you're upset. He will feel it, and therefore you're not this safe haven you want to be for your dog. So even if it's hard, just try to be relaxed, be calm, and reassure your dog. Don't worry if he doesn't respond to any reassuring talks, or if he doesn't come to you immediately, even if it's at the shelter that he doesn't come to you. There are dogs who are so fearful that they just can't approach new people from the beginning, and they just need time. That's the most important thing for a new dog in a new home anyway. So if you bring your dog home, just try to watch him and try to see how much time he needs and when he is about to get ready to interact. If your dog approaches the new home or gets into your house and he just wants to hide somewhere, then let him do that. Sometimes we really pity the dog who's under the bed for quite some time, but if he feels safe in this spot, just let him be there. He will come out on his own terms, but getting him out will not make things any better. I get even more scared. So when you bring your new dog home, your dog's not sure what's happening to him. His whole life is about to change, and he feels your anxiety because you will be maybe a little bit nervous because it's a new dog and you don't know how he's gonna react. And he will also feel the excitement if you are not nervous but excited. And maybe he doesn't know how to cope with that if he's not very well socialized. And even if he is, it will do something to him. He will feel that something's gonna be different, something's gonna change, and it's gonna be huge. So most dogs in the first couple of days really, it's often explained as a very good dog because he's not behaving much. That's kind of a safety strategy. And the dog has to get accustomed to all his new things in his life. And he will be a little bit shy, maybe. He will behave in a very limited or restricted way. So this is all very much for him. Very often new dog owners expect their dogs to go on walks from the first day on, but you just brought him home, so everything's new, and that's a bit scary, of course, also for a dog. So maybe you can relate to it if you think back to your last holiday. You exited the airport and everything was different. Everything was new. There were new smells. There were new people. There were people talking in a different language, and everything felt a little bit intimidating. So you don't go out there and scream, "Hello, I'm here, how are you?" and go to everybody and just hug them. And that's how your dog feels. Everything's new to him. Your home smells different than the shelter or at the breeders. Maybe you have furniture he hasn't never seen before. Maybe your yard feels different because he's only experienced concrete floors until then. Maybe The same applies to some kind of carpet or a wooden floor or something like that. Maybe your dog has never seen such a thing, and now he has to step on it and feel comfortable on it. That's weird. And for your dog to get really accustomed to this and really comfortable in your home, he needs you to just support him in his new journey. So if your dog is fearful and doesn't want to go in right away, maybe it's a possibility to go into the backyard first and just be with him there and expect nothing from him, because he just can't oblige to anything yet. He can't do any commands yet because he's just overwhelmed with everything new. And well, this applies especially for fearful dogs and puppies. So often people take home their new puppy from the breeder, and in best cases the puppy sleeps the whole drive home, and then they get the puppy into the home, and first thing that happens is the puppy pees on the floor. Just try not to get mad on these things, because it happens, and your puppy doesn't think, oh crap, this is my new home, I have to behave perfectly and I have to use outside as a bathroom because I want my new owners to like me. That's not how it goes. Your puppy will just think and feel, oh my god, everything's new, where am I, who are these people, where's my mama, where are my siblings, and this is very overwhelming. So you can just support your dog in being there for him, and if he wants to cuddle and be close to you, he will come, and if he doesn't, then that's fine too. Some dogs just need a little time to get into the whole very close contact thing. So don't push your dog into something that he wouldn't do on his own. And if your dog is too afraid to go into the house, maybe you can sit on the porch with him for just enough time so he gets comfortable with the whole situation. And if you're thinking about the best time to bring your dog home, then try to talk to the people who already know this dog. How is he in new environments? How fast is he accustomed to new things? And how fast will he be comfortable in new areas and stuff like that? You can also try to talk to the shelter personnel about how the dog reacted to new floors and something like that. So that will help a lot. And if your dog doesn't want to walk, it's just because all the new stimuli is just so much for him. And you must never forget that our dog's ability to smell is so much better than ours. So if you think, well, there is nothing in the environment that could startle your dog, or that could just be hard for your dog because it's new, then also consider smells. Sometimes our dogs don't want to walk in a specific direction, and that might be because they smell something there. Maybe a boa or another dog or wolf or whatever is in your area. And therefore, I think it's very important to listen to our dogs, and if they don't want to go somewhere, then don't go there. And if your new dog doesn't like to walk yet, then give him time. We've talked about the overwhelm of new things and new environments and stuff. And that also applies to every family member. Whether that's a human, a cat, a dog, or a bunny, it will be new to the dog, even if he's lived with a cat before, for example. Your cat is different, and your dog and this new roommate of his have to form a new relationship of their own, and this will take time as well. So some dogs just come into the home and are like, hey, I'm here. Who's here too? I like to be friends with everyone, and just fool around a little bit, and are just funny to watch. But this is also some kind of strategy for stress relief and to avoid conflict. So if your dog jumps around a lot and runs a lot and is just funny to watch, this means that your dog is a little or a lot stressed out at the moment, and he is worried that a conflict might occur if he's just behaving in a normal way. Or it could also be that he's a little scared of whatever or whoever there is. So if your dog meets a new family member and he's not entirely calm and relaxed, then consider your dog feeling a little bit unsure, and you can help him. You can support him in this situation and just be there, and also get him out of the situation if it's too much. And if you have a dog that is scared of male people, for example, and you have a husband, then don't expect anything from the dog. Don't force him into something, because if there's something like well, give him treats and he will like you, it's a conflict for the dog. So if your dog doesn't want to be close to anyone, then don't try to get him there. Just be there for him and be his safe spot and his somebody who he can rely on. So what does your dog need to get comfortable as fast as possible? Your dog might pick his own relaxation zone, so you can just watch him and watch what's happening when you just let him be. And some dogs just hide under something like a bench or a bed or something like that, or in a corner or in the bathroom. And for some dogs, this is a possibility to avoid loud sounds and also smells, and also the new family. So again, don't get upset, don't try to get them out of their hiding space, just leave them be. Because if your dog feels safe somewhere in your new home, then you already have accomplished something. Your dog feels safe in your home, even if that's only in the bathroom. So you can just watch your dog and see how he's behaving on his own. You can also pass by him and just throw some treats on the floor, and maybe he will pick it up, maybe not. It doesn't matter, really. So you just want your dog to get a very nice feeling about you, and you want to get your dog to know that whenever you're around, good things happen. So your dog will very quickly get that whenever you're around, good things happen, and he will associate you with nice food and someone who is there for him, and someone who he can cuddle with, and something like that. So your dog will associate you with good things, and that's exactly what we want. Alright, so to wrap it up a little bit. When you bring your dog home, don't expect too much from him. If you already know him, then it will be easier for you to know what to expect. But if you don't know him, then just stay back and observe. Just watch what your dog is about, and how he's behaving, how he's exploring stuff, or if he's exploring stuff. And if there's something your dog is too scared to do yet, or if your dog doesn't go somewhere, then just accept that for the moment. You can work on it later, but just in the beginning, there is nothing so important that you have to start training on it right now. If there are very dangerous behavior things, then you will have had some training sessions at the shelter before, And if your dog just doesn't want to go in, give him time and see what happens. If it's not possible to get him into the house at all in the beginning, then you could talk to the shelter and ask them how they did it and stuff like that. But normally, if you just give him time to get him into the home. All right. So this is about it for our first episode. And of course, feel free to write me any experience you have with your dog, how the first day in your dog's new home was. And if you have any questions or if you want any topics discussed, just write me an email or WhatsApp or whatever. And yeah, that's about it. Until next time. Bye.